Teresa had that same element. She did it 10 times further to spite herself, as we're talking about, and to the point where she's like, I'm untouchable. She thought she was untouchable, you know? I mean, she said it to Andy, like, you know, or not to Andy, but like, oh, you're not going to be around. And it's like, he's like, really? You're going to tell me how to run the show?
Yeah.
You
Here's
know?
the thing, though. I mean, we'll get back to the text messages in just a few. Actually, we're done with the text messages because this is leading into the next thing. I don't know if Jersey is going to be around that much longer because all things, you know, like Simon Cowell has said, all things come to an end and you got to know when to walk away from the party. And I think this could be an okay closure for right now for Jersey and for Andy to pull the plug on Jersey. Not to say that I don't love the cast and that I don't love a lot of the people on the cast. I do. I love them all. Even Teresa and her madness, like, I've watched her girls grow and I've watched Teresa go through turmoil and come out on the other side of it. And good for her because she was able to come out on the other side of it. I just think right now is a good time to pull the plug for about a good 3 to 5 years.
That's a long time.
It is. But as we're seeing with New York was revamped in like an all new way. And Bravo's new crown jewel at the moment is Real Housewives of Potomac.
Well, and sometimes it had a tougher season too. They're all kind of doing
They might have had a tougher season, but their ratings are there.
Okay.
And that's what they're doing is their ratings are really outbeating all of the other out of the other franchises. Real Housewives of Atlanta is having low ratings as well. And, you know, sources are saying that it's potential that 2 castmates, I don't want to name them just because I don't want to
we don't do that.
Juju out there.
We don't do that. Yeah, no.
But, you know, that potentially 2 of the castmates could be shelved. If not, then the whole season could be shelved or the whole franchise could be shelved, which I don't see a problem with because there's so many other cities that we can move on to. We can move on to Real Housewives of San Francisco. We can move on to
that would
Real
be
Housewives. You know, there's a lot of different Real Housewives of San Diego. There's a lot of big spaces that we can fill. And sometimes you just gotta move on to the next city, next area. Go ahead and do the road map and do the tour. You know, all things don't last forever.
Yeah. Well, also they should be creating new shows, you know, different concepts, different friend groups. Like the thought of like, let's just really dip into this Housewives thing is too much. You know, why don't we have, you know, like the old days, like a designer, like a posh hairstylist, you know, a hairdresser, and you know his lifestyle, a house flipper, like all that stuff really was fun to watch. And now we're not really getting any of that. You know, we talk about how, you know, I mean, you know, we're both on the East Coast right now, but it very well could be you get a dynamic group of gay guys in the Long Beach area and really just like unpack all that, you know. I mean,
don't give away our idea now.
Okay, sorry.
But first of all, this is being streamed live on YouTube, so this has been time stamped and dated. So if anybody comes out with that show idea, me and randomly Ronnie Jr. won't so randomly be coming after you. We know exactly who you are and where you got the idea. So if you decide, you want to come up on this.
Okay, we may have to edit this out. Got it.
We may have to because I'm already finding people. And I don't even know who's. I don't.
Damn.
No, but going back to our point, in New York City alone, in the state of New York, you can have several franchises here alone.
Yeah.
You can have New Jersey, New York City, Brooklyn. You can have, you know, like, I'm trying to think of like the Upper East Side areas.
I mean, you could explore all the different neighborhoods. All the neighborhoods are different, such as like California has that a little bit too. But explore all the neighborhoods. And we say it before. I think you were talking about how there's a lot of word on the curb that Frank and Joe want to do a spinoff. I think really every single person who's had a long run, even Teresa, if you're at that level, it doesn't matter. Everyone now should start getting creative and almost get into their executive producer show pitch mindset, because now is the time to start throwing things out there. You know, a lot of people used to come at Candy. I think one time she mentioned this, and I loved that she finally said this. She goes, everyone wants to talk about me, or whoever, I don't know who was coming at her, but she was saying, what people don't realize is I'm always pitching. We're always in there. We're always coming up with concepts. We're not losing sleep, but at the same time, we're in there. We're going for it. So just because you see this happen and this happen and this happen, understand that we're putting a lot into making those things happen. And for whatever successful, or not even successful, but let's say something is greenlit, there's like 17 things. That might be a little much, but there's a lot of things that didn't go through. And we know that more than anyone, you and I, such as our careers, because both of us, while we enjoy doing this wonderful youtube.com at Russell X Raymond and youtube.com/RandomlyRJ Jr., we do love that. And that's part of our lives. Russell and I have been in the big meetings. We've been in the, okay, we're going to move forward on this show, and then it doesn't go, stuff like that. Even myself, I'm doing, having a little contribution in morning radio in New York City, at 94.7 The Block with the amazing and gorgeous Miss Jones, Jonesy in the morning. So like, we're doing all of the things, but things don't always connect immediately. Yes, jokes and shenanigans. 94.7 The Block.
I was like, where is it? Let me find it.
It's all good music. And the thing I love about it is every blue moon, because our demographic might not necessarily be like Housewives per se, but every blue moon we get in there, the times I'm up there, which is like once or twice a week, I show up. But we will sometimes talk about Housewives, and I'm always like, just to let you know, Melissa Gorga, icon of the show. So that feels really good, because you get to get on that broadcast and give your opinion to the tri-state area, which the radio station, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, So anyways, now I personalized it, but my point is every of the cast members needs to be doing that at a time where the network doesn't even really know what they want. To be honest with you, they gotta fill space for Peacock streaming. They've got to fill space for Bravo. They got to know that Housewives ain't gonna last forever. I mean, there's a lot. They got to know that Watch What Happens Live may not last forever. Although I think it did good once Tom Sandoval's scandal happened. I think that did push a lot of ratings kind of up. But nonetheless, you gotta be looking at your next step. That's every creative person. That's every business person. Yeah.
I mean, look at Blockbuster. Like, we're getting way off topic here, but Blockbuster shut down because Blockbuster didn't move with the times, and all that any television organization, any social media platform, any streaming service, they have to follow the tides of what their audience is demanding. And even not even directly, it could be indirectly. So back when Netflix first came out, the audience was demanding that they wanted things faster at their fingertips. They didn't want to have to worry about getting the last new release on the shelf, even though that was the most satisfying thing that you can ever do, was look someone right in the eye and be like, I got the last new release. But like, again, everything is evolving. We have new cities that are expanding and doing well with population and new popularity. Austin, Texas is one of them. I know local people from Austin are not happy about the city growing as fast as it is, but you can't stop the inevitable. California is way out of price range. Like, you and I have to have 2 to 3 jobs in order to 2 to 3 jobs and a little bit of shadiness in order to survive in California.
Yeah, possibly a sponsor.
Okay, possibly a sponsor, maybe an extension cord for the neighbor's house in order to survive in California.
Yeah. Can I get your Wi-Fi?
We are talking about going down, so we might as well talk about Dolores telling Melissa that she's going down.
Okay, the way you transition that, I was like, going down. I said, what kind? We don't talk about that on this show. On this, I was like, well, what's he talking about? Okay, yes.
And now we're headed to our sponsored break. Me on Create the Escape.
Hey. I mean, you gotta flaunt it, man. So I'll do it for you. So put the banner up one more time.
Oh, hold on.
Real quick, and we're gonna get we're gonna get really into Jersey in a second. But it is to be known that if you like, you go into Peacock streaming because you're seeing all of these old reunions, and sometimes even on like Vanderpump Rules, they're now airing a lot of the shows without the bleeping of the curse words and stuff. So Peacock is always doing stuff new and exciting. But they also have a show. When Peacock streaming was launched, this is really exciting. Russell Ray was not only the TV host, one of 3, but he was also a design expert on a show called Create the Escape. It's very much escape rooms, but it's like with like a family dynamic. So, yes. and I think the way that we always word this, now I'm your publicist. the way that we always word this is when you watch Housewives, it's the drama. But when you watch Create the Escape, you just want a wholesome, fun television show with a really wonderful takeaway. Make sure you check that out. And every view does help, you know, believe it or not, it does. So check that out. Peacock streaming, Create the Escape, and you will see multiple episodes of Russell in his television hosting you know, bag, which is really nice to see. And I'm very proud of you. We can't say it enough.
Thank
you know,
you.
I get worried, like, again, I was just talking about my little successes within radio, and you know, I'm talking about your thing with Create the Escape,
and
but
YouTube.
yes, and the YouTube is popping too. But you know, a lot of people will want to turn you down and not let you celebrate the things. You know, stick to the script, talk about Jersey. We are full people, you know. I am with a full belly, you know. I'm all, you know, we're just big personalities who sit back, maintain, come with the heat in terms of the broadcast. But like, I think if you want to, here's what I'm saying: if you want to connect, I don't think you just connect by saying buzzword type stuff. Melissa Gorga on display, tree huggers, and like make this really staccato-y banter. And you can do that. Anyone else could do that. For us, we want to take big conversations. If you notice, Russell knows how I am before we do the show. I always got to sit myself down. I don't like that Teresa at all. Never have. Always thought she was lackluster, like from the beginning. So this isn't even like, oh, you're just a hater because you like Melissa. No, I was like, this can't be y'all's queen. This is not really. She came at, anyways, that's a side top. We'll do a whole episode devoted to how I never understood that finale Tree did anything. And again, I watch Love and Hip Hop, so I'm like, if you nudge a table, that ain't nothing. I'm used to the bigger action.
Maybe
I'm like,
we
darlings,
can always go into the issues, not the issues, but we can go into, after the whole like reunion is done, we can dial back and talk a little bit about Jersey's greatest and worst moments, or like things that were missed that no one ever spoke about.
Yeah. I guess with our programming of our YouTube channels, you never know where it will go. But I just want to say that that's what we do. Anyways, I guess we should get back to it. Yeah, this was insanely dynamic on so many levels. I feel like there's not a lot of times that Melissa just comes for it. But, you know, I guess the question to you is, what makes you think, what made you think she did that? Because we've mentioned a couple times where it feels like most of the arguments are just her sort of defending some of the asinine stuff that Teresa does. It isn't very many times, and this is maybe asking why Dolores created that reaction, that Melissa just goes. And Melissa wasn't stopping. I guess I'm passing it right back to you to know what you think that was alluding to.